While sitting on the floor, you were taking out some necessary stuffs to bake cookies that were placed beneath the counter of your small bakery. With a soothing smile on your lips, you were continuously humming a melody, a sweet, faint melody. Though it was faint, but it could be heard clearly, as your surroundings were completely enveloped by a usual silence of winter's freezing dawns. But you paused suddenly when you heard a deep voice echoing around yourself. Excuse me, is someone here? You furrowed your brows upon hearing that voice and got up. And there was standing a young, tall, and well-built man with some luggage behind. Yeah, how may I help you? You asked as you well examined the man and his belongings before looking into his eyes. He just raised his brows at you, probably to show his confusion over something, and which, to be honest, just confused you. Excuse me, mister, how may I help you? You again asked as he didn't respond to you earlier. Yeah, actually I just arrived here and it's snowing outside, so I just wanted to have a shelter. He replied to you in a composed tone, making you nod. Oh, is it? Then you may wait here. You spoke up and smiled a bit, making him smile back. Why is he looking at me like that? As if I stole something from him? You thought, as you noticed that man's unusual glare on you several times. Does he need something? You further wondered under breath and looked at him. And as your eyes met his, he got uneasy and looked away swiftly. Do you want to have some warm water? You asked him as you noticed him quivering. Yeah, thanks for asking. He smiled a bit as he nodded his head. You smiled and walked inside towards the kitchen. Here, have it please. You got near him and extended a mug of warm water towards him, making him bow slightly. Thank you so much. He thanked you, and as you were about to reply, someone entered the bakery, making you both look there. Hey Ryan, good morning. Sheena, your friend and business partner, uttered as soon as she entered the bakery. But she stopped midway with her mouth wide open when her gaze fell over you, or better say, over the person beside you. Jungkook? She shouted out, making you raise one of your brows. Oh, only? Do you know him? You asked as you looked at her, while she just scoffed and shook her head in disbelief while walking towards you both. And when she reached you, she literally pushed you beside while shaking her head. Jungkook, how can it be? I mean, why are you here? She asked and she shrieked out loudly, making you frown. Ryan, come with me. She ordered you as soon as she was done with greeting a man who was a complete stranger for you. Why? What's wrong? Before you could show her your query, she grabbed your hand and dragged you towards the kitchen. You don't know him? She asked with squinted eyes, making you frown. No, but should I have known him? You asked as you shook your head slightly. Ryan, he's Jungkook, Jungkook, Golden Magnet of BTS. She literally shouted at you, making you squeeze your eyes. but you soon open them as you realize something. Jungkook? Your Jungkook? You asked nervously as you gulped harder because you were well aware of the fact that your friend was the biggest admirer of him. And now, in her perception, you had insulted him by not recognizing him. Yeah, my Jungkook. You didn't recognize him? I know you aren't involved in them, but still, Ryan, you should have enough knowledge about what's happening in this world. She further shouted, making you squeeze one of your eyes. I'm sorry, Undi. I really couldn't recognize him. You apologized to her, and who knew why? Why are you sorry to me? Go and ask him to forgive you. You insulted him, not me. She replied to you with a serious face, but you chuckled as that was too childish for you. You well knew that Jungkook's pride was always more important for her than her very own. And that was how she acted today, or better say, overacted today. Sir, here. I spoke up as I kept a tray on the table before Jungkook. He looked at the tray and then at me with raised brows. Have it, sir. They are the most famous and delicious cookies of our bakery. And to warm you up, a cup of tea is surely unignorable. I spoke up as I stood in front of him. Actually, I'm sorry, sir. I couldn't recognize you earlier. I'm literally feeling sorry for that. I apologized to him as ordered by Sheena and bowed down. Why are you sorry for that? You don't need to be. He spoke up in an assuring tone as he picked up a cookie. Well, thank you so much, sir. I looked up at him and smiled a bit. Undi, has he left? I asked Sheena as soon as I came back after delivering some rice cakes. Huh? No, he's still here, in the kitchen. She replied, making me sigh. Undi, don't you think it's quite late? I mean, he should leave now. I spoke up as I walked in. Yeah, it's really late. But how would he leave without you? She asked, making me frown. What do you mean? Why can't he leave without me? I asked and looked at her with raised brows. Because he's gonna stay at your place, she replied, making me widen my eyes. What? What did he just say? Where's he gonna stay? I asked her to confirm whatever I heard. What? Why are you shouting? He asked me for a guest house, so I told him that your grandmother runs an inn in your house, and now he's gonna stay there. What's in there to be so surprised? She replied nonchalantly while giving me a weird look. Unni, just how could you do that? Don't you know how congested and old Ern is? And it's not even an inn properly. It's her house. How would he manage there? He's a celebrity, Unni. I exclaimed and looked at her with desperate eyes. But before she could answer me, I heard a deep voice, probably replying to me. But I guess I'd be able to manage there. As I heard the voice, I widened my eyes and turned around swiftly, only to find Jungkook standing there. And as our eyes met, he smiled a bit and walked towards me. Miss, it would be okay for me to stay at your place, if you are comfortable with that. He spoke up in a calm tone, making me flash a nervous smile. No, it's okay, sir. You can stay there. I don't have any issues. I replied to him, making him nod smilingly. Well, thank you so much, miss, for being so generous. He sincerely showed his gratitude and bowed a bit, making me bow down too. How long will it take to reach your house? Jungkook asked as we both were walking on the snow-clad roads for almost 10 minutes. And honestly, it was a silent walk as you were a quiet, reserved and unsociable kind of girl. While he, being the complete opposite of yours, couldn't bear silence between two interactable people. And so he finally decided to break it on his own. Just few more minutes. Have you got tired? You asked him and looked back at him as he was walking few steps behind you. No, I was just asking. He shrugged his shoulders and looked around as he got flicked by a flurry. You nodded your head and again continued walking. He looked at your leaving figure and sighed before rushing towards it. By the way, can I get your name? He asked you as he rushed to walk beside you. Yeah, sure, it's YN. You answered and looked at him walking beside you. Oh, nice name though. He nodded his head, making you look at him with a surprised look. And he really deserved that look, as it might be the first time when someone appreciated your name. Well, I guess I don't need to tell you mine. You must be knowing it. He spoke up, making you hum in response. Yeah, I know that. You looked at him and nodded your head while smiling a bit. But I'd still introduce myself. He spoke up as he stopped on his way, making you stop as well. I'm Jungkook, and it's nice to meet you. He extended his hand towards you and grinned a bit. You looked at his hand and chuckled a bit before shaking yours with his. You smiled as you found his action a kind one. And by that time, you had surely figured out that he was really a different person. His attitude, his personality, his way of talking was different, and it impressed you right in the first meet. Granny, I'm home, you shouted as soon as you entered your house with Jungkook following you. Oh, you are here, my child. She came out from the kitchen while wiping her hands with the apron, but she frowned when she noticed Jungkook behind you. She removed her apron and walked towards you both, and as you were about to introduce him, she kind of ignored you and focused on Jungkook, making you frown. Jungkook, how can you be here? She asked while looking at Jungkook, making you flustered. You put on a surprised face as it seemed as if she knew him. Oh, it seems like you recognized me. He spoke up, and honestly, he too sounded confused. Wow, how wouldn't I recognize you? You are Jungkook, she exclaimed and grinned a bit, making him smile back. But I thought that you wouldn't be able to recognize me, as your granddaughter couldn't. He answered while emphasizing the last part and looked at you, making you look down, being embarrassed. Don't mind her. She's just a workaholic girl. She shook her head and sighed at your behavior, making Jungkook chuckle. Well, come inside, children. How long would you stand there? Your granny spoke up in a welcoming tone and made a way for you both to enter. with your grandmother? Jungkook asked as he was roaming around the room that I offered to him. Yeah, I replied and gave him a slight nod. I see. He hummed and then sat on the bed with much nonchalance. I really like this room. Well, thank you so much. He further spoke and leaned back on the bed with his palms. You are welcome, sir. I replied and gave him a flustered smile, as I really wasn't expecting him to appreciate a much simple room. Okay then, sir, I take my leave now. I spoke up as I bowed a bit and turned around after earning a nod from him. Just like usual, I sat down in front of the mirror after taking a not-so-quick shower. While squinting my eyes, I focused on my left cheek that was cursed by a scar, a dark and ugly scar that always reminded me of my bitter past. A past where a robber tried to stab my granny in order to rob her, and while saving her, I got that ugly stab mark. I sighed and let my freshly shampooed hair fall down to my shoulders. And just like always, I prudently hid my scar with few strands of hair and again looked at my reflection. And there I saw the true me, a girl with no self-esteem, a girl who had nothing to be called confidence, a girl whose life offered her just scars, bruises and cuts, and a girl who was weak actually, but just pretended to be a strong one, for her only family, and that was her old and caring grandmother. I sighed and headed towards the kitchen for my further routine work. With a bowl full of rice, you sat around the dining table and fixed your eyes on the screen of the laptop as you were dealing with some business matters. Though your bakery was really a small one, but along with your town, it was quite famous in nearby towns too, so you used to sell your products online too. And that was what you were doing right at that moment. And as you were surfing through the internet, someone rushed through your mind and you couldn't resist yourself from typing his name in the search bar. Jungkook, you uttered as soon as his pictures and videos dominated the screen share. You scrolled down a bit and then clicked on a random video. Though you just clicked it randomly, but his perfect dance moves held you captivated with that. You were watching him blinklessly as you didn't want to miss even a single little move of him. And it was so until you heard a deep voice from behind. I dance well, don't I? You turned your head around swiftly upon hearing that. And you found Jungkook standing there, slightly leaned towards you with his eyes glued to the laptop. You looked at his face and gulped as you didn't expect him, not even a bit. He shifted his gaze from the screen to you and smiled a bit, and it just made you more embarrassed. I was just... You tried to speak but stopped as he sat on one of the chairs beside you and rested his face upon his palms while looking at you. You didn't sleep yet? He asked you as he raised his brows, making you frown. No, I'm already awake, sir. You replied as you shook your palms slightly. Oh, is it? What a great scheduler you are. And look at me, I'll be going to sleep now. He chuckled, making you smile a bit. By the way, are you leaving for your bakery? he further asked as he noticed some baking stuffs lying on the dining table. Yeah, you nodded your head and looked at him. This early? He asked in surprise and raised his brows, making you again nod with a smile. I see. He nodded his head and looked down. Sir, I have prepared breakfast for you and Granny, so make sure to eat it. You spoke up, making him look at you. He smiled and nodded his head in response. I'd be leaving, sir, then. You got up from the chair and bowed a bit, making him got up as well. Wow, it's so cold here, Jungkook exclaimed as he came out to see you all. It really is. You agreed with him as the cold flurries made you quiver. I guess you should wait for the sun to come up. It would be better then, he suggested and looked at you. No sir, it's okay with me. I'm kinda habitual of this fierce weather. You replied to him and smiled a bit. Okay, wait here for a while then. He spoke up hurriedly before rushing inside the house, making you raise your brows in confusion. Where did he go? You thought as you tried to look for him, but he wasn't there. You sighed and looked down as you started scribbling on the ground. Here. After a few minutes, you heard his voice, which made you turn around to face him. He was slightly panting while the tip of his nose caught on a pink tent. You looked down at his hands as he extended it to you, and he was holding a scarf. Wear it. It would protect you from the fierce climate. He spoke up while looking at you. You looked at the scarf and then at your hands as your hands were already engaged in holding some stuff. He too followed your gaze and again looked at you. You can't wait on your own. Wait, let me do it for you. He spoke up while smiling and approached you. No, it's okay, sir. Before you could complete your words, he started wrapping it around your neck, making you pretty nervous as you thought about your scarf. You looked at him and found his eyes squinted, as if he was looking at something very deeply. And you knew he noticed your scarf, something that you didn't want anyone to notice. You were hurt somewhere and wanted to disappear right at that moment, but still, you kept looking at his face to see his reaction. He, after a few moments, shifted his gaze from your cheek to your eyes and smiled calmly while looking deeply into your eyes. And his genuine smile at that moment suddenly gave you courage to smile back at him. Now it's perfect. He spoke up as he backed off and looked at you. Literally perfect. He further spoke up by smiling, making you smile back and bow a bit as you bid your greetings and turned around to leave. You heaved a sigh and touched the scarf smilingly as you continued walking. And he once again made you realize that he was different in each manner. A soothing smile never left your face as you finally met someone who didn't ask about your scar even after noticing it. He really was the first one who made you feel that you were no different with that wide and ugly scar. You still could be called perfect, and he just did that. Granny, I'm home. I shouted just like usual as soon as I stepped inside. Welcome home, dear. Granny came out from the kitchen and smiled warmly at me. Get freshen up, child. I'm serving the meal. She further spoke and walked inside, making me nod. What's in the dinner, Granny? I asked as I followed her to the kitchen. I can't tell, asked the chef. She replied to me, making me frown. What? Before I could further speak, my eyes landed on Jungkook. He was standing near the counter with an apron wrapped around his waist, a spatula in his hands, and his eyes on me. I looked at him with raised brows as I was confused enough to find him like that. He just simply smiled and shrugged his shoulders while looking at me. He is cooking something special, Ryan. Go and get freshened up quickly, she exclaimed as she pushed me back slightly, making me shift my gaze from Jungkook to her. Yeah, I'll be back in few minutes, I replied to her and nodded before heading towards my room. You cook so well, Jungkook. Your grandma spoke up as soon as she had the first bite of one of the dishes that Jungkook prepared. Is it? Well, I'm glad that you liked it, he replied and smiled a bit while looking down. You looked at him and just smiled unknowingly at his mere act of dropping his head down, but you got flustered when he suddenly looked up at you. How's the food, Ryan? He asked and raised his brows. Yeah, really nice, you replied, being a bit flustered as you got your senses back. Really? But you haven't tasted it yet, he chuckled as he looked down at your plate and then up at you. You squeezed your eyes as you looked down at the plate and realized that it really was untouched. You sighed at your silly behavior and started eating after smiling nervously at him. He chuckled and focused down at his plate, but not before having a glance of you and your granny for a significant amount of time. He smiled while looking down as he was pleased and satisfied with his own self. His heart brimmed with several new feelings. He was feeling proud of himself as he finally proved that he wasn't a careless, immature, and unformed guy anymore. With a shawl wrapped around your body, you got out of your room and walked stealthily towards the balcony. And when you peeked through the door of the balcony, your lips curved into a subtle smile as you found Jungkook standing there, just like you expected. From the past few days, you had observed him well enough to know his whereabouts, and so there you were. You breathed in deeply and walked towards him. Hey, you uttered in a low voice as soon as you reached him and stood beside him. Oh, Ryan, you are still up? He exclaimed as he looked at you with raised brows. I just couldn't sleep, so I thought of coming here, you replied and closed your eyes for a while. He hummed slightly and nodded his head before moving his gaze away from you. Ryan, don't you think it's too dark today? He asked you as he looked around and then at you. You opened your eyes and looked around before smiling bitterly. It is, but it's alright. I like darkness, you replied while looking down, making him frown. Really? And why is that so? He asked you, being a bit flustered. because it hides all of my weaknesses. This awful and ugly darkness can hide all of my scars and bruises that I got while struggling with this cruel life. You heaved a heavy sigh while bandaging your eyes around, while on the other hand, his still eyes never left your face. He was looking deeply at your face, and the one thing that he could figure out was emptiness, just emptiness. He sighed and looked at your palm that you rested over the palisade. And a sudden wish to engulf it tightly in his palm rushed through him. But he just didn't do that. He didn't feel to do so. He didn't want to make you feel uncomfortable and awkward around him. He just wanted to comfort and console you. He just wanted to take your distress and despair away, and so he smiled and looked up at you before speaking. Why, but I guess we shouldn't hide our weaknesses, or better say, they aren't even meant to be hidden. They are our weaknesses till the time we keep them hidden. From the very moment we disclose them, they just become a slightly different yet much ordinary part of us with which we can survive till the time we conquer them. And I believe you too would be able to do that. He spoke up in an assuring tone and turned to you with a smile. And his smile got even wider as soon as he looked at you and found you smiling already. He again was doing something to you. You were just wondering that how could he talk so positive. Every word he just spoke was brimming with hope and faith. Faith for you. Really? You really think so? You asked him and chuckled bitterly while looking down. Really? You know, Ian, for me, you are the strongest girl I've ever met. He further spoke, making you look at him with raised brows. You know why I came here, in this village? He further asked and looked at you, making you shake your head a bit. Because I wanted to survive without any support. You know, Ian, the person I used to be was nothing but just a man who always used to be surrounded by his man. Be it some personal assistants or secretaries or anyone else. A man who never explored and ventured the world on his very own and could never do a thing on his own. That is how I was. A man who could easily be called immature, irresponsible, or less experienced. This is what my identity was. So I just thought of leaving everything behind for a while and survive on my own. And that's how I came randomly to this village and met you. And honestly, meeting you was one of the luckiest parts of my life. You made me learn things that I always wanted to. By deeply observing your life from the very near, I realized how perfectly you are living your life, how greatly you are thriving on your very own. Without any definite support, you are making earnings for you and your granny. He paused and sighed before continuing. And this is what you taught me. Being independent, being self-sufficient and self-sustaining. He finished and looked at you with a smile. You looked into his eyes and smiled unconsciously. His words were hard to believe, as you always used to think less about yourself, while he just admired you in each possible way. Though it was hard to gulp it down, but still, something in his eyes made you believe his each word. With utmost prudence, he, in a much lesser time, started making you feel much attached to him. You again smiled at him, but consciously this time, making him stare at you for a long time. And the moment he looked away was the moment when you both felt slight drizzles over your faces. "It's raining, Bayan," he exclaimed and looked at you. It is. Let's go." You nodded your head and rushed inside, making him follow you. With hurried movements of my hands, I was locking up the door of the bakery when I suddenly heard a voice. "Miss, are you closed?" I turned around and found a young lady standing there with a little girl beside her. "Yeah, but do you need any help?" I asked as I looked at both of them and realized that their life wasn't much fair to them. Their clothes were worn out in such fierce weather, and I couldn't ignore that, even when I was in such hurry that I was closing the bakery an hour before usual. And the reason behind my unusual pace was none other than Jungkook. He was leaving for Seoul tonight. And I just couldn't let him go like that. I just wanted to see him one last time and bid my farewell the way I wanted. I had numerous things that I wanted to tell him. I had some new feelings that I wanted to confess to him before he left. "Actually, miss, my daughter is hungry and I have nothing to feed her. Can we get something from your bakery?" she urged and looked at me with desperate eyes. Okay, wait a bit," I replied and unlocked the door before entering the bakery. "Here, have it," I spoke as I extended a few cookies and some rice cakes towards her. "Feed her here only. It's so cold outside." I further spoke and smiled a bit as she headed towards the exit. "Thank you so much, miss," she spoke up and bowed down to show gratitude as she made herself and her daughter comfortable on the chairs. After running continuously from the bakery to your house, you finally put your feet on rest and breathed deeply a few times. You were panting heavily and you almost couldn't feel the parts of your body that were exposed. But still, you cared least about it as your mind was completely filled with Jungkook. You sighed and barged into your house. "Granny, where's Jungkook?" You asked in a hurry and looked around the house to spot his figure, but couldn't. "Oh, you are late, girl. He just left," she replied to you as she looked at you while fixing her specs. And as you heard her, your heart sank deep down in an ocean filled with sorrows and griefs. The first thing that came into your mind was that he was gone and you wouldn't be able to meet him again. You realized that his voice, his face, and his precious presence was gone. You were definitely not a dumb and were well aware of the limits that were evident between you two. He was a top idol, while you were a normal girl, just a normal girl. The gap between his and your life was more than that of the sky and the earth. You knew that he couldn't come back to you, and why would he actually do that? He had no reason to do so. And it was the moment when you realized that your fate already put the story to an end, which you hadn't even started with him, but were willing to. With a heavy heart, you headed towards your room as you were on the verge of crying, and you were in no mood to resist your tears. At that very moment, all you wanted to do was cry your heart out, and so you did. A breathtaking city, beautifully enlightened with lamps and lanterns to welcome and cherish the upcoming year. That was what I confronted as soon as I stepped out of the bus. The city of Seoul really had the charm that was more than enough to blow one's mind away, and so it did to me. Darkness didn't touch even its darkest corner, and for the first time, I didn't crave for darkness. I liked the brilliance, the radiance, and the gleam the city had. I sighed and stepped ahead with slow steps and wandering eyes, and right at that moment, a gust of cold wind came and flicked me, making me close my eyes. I smiled and again opened my eyes as I felt that the wind was trying to untie my hair that was secured up in a perfectly interlaced braid. While I, for the very first time, wasn't in the mood to let my hair strands fall and hide my scar. I wanted to reveal my true self and let the world know who I was and how I was. And honestly, that was just a glimpse of the effect that Jungkook had on me. That was just a flicker of the blaze of how he changed me and my demeanor. He was the only reason why I landed in the city of Seoul. Just because of him, I ended up here, in his world, in his city, with a beaming desire to see and meet him again. I wanted him to know the significance he had in my life. I wanted him to look at the changes that he caused within me. I breathed in deeply and clutched on the bag that I was holding and stepped ahead with a smile inscribed over my face.